So something that a lot of people don't know is that in Texas, every single county has an open data like situation, we'll just call it, when it comes to what you're paying on your taxes. And that includes minerals, because in Texas you pay taxes on producing minerals. So a producing mineral is something where oil and gas is coming out of the ground. That's just, it's what it sounds like. So if you have land and you own the minerals, but there's no oil and gas coming out of the ground, then you don't owe taxes on it. You can't lose it for not paying taxes in Texas. Other states are different. And because of that, if it's not producing, they can't find you. But if it is producing, they can find you. And so, actually, I'm pointing this way because it's this way on my computer, but it's this way here. So I'm in Upton County for right now, just as an example. And so if you were to search just last name, first name, something here, then you might get what you're looking for, but that's kind of going about it different than how the buyers are doing. What the buyers are doing when they send out those mass mailers, and there's obviously companies that will aggregate all of this together and put them into like a giant Excel spreadsheet and format it exactly to what would like print out onto their mailers and insert the first name in there and all those things. But this is where that data is coming from. So in each county, it's placed a little different, and different counties have different histories available. But with this one, I should also say, hi, my name is Tracy. I'm a petroleum engineer. I'm the owner of Pecan Tree. We are an oil and gas appraisal firm, and we do mineral appraisals, both custom, white glove, and DIY. So we have our app, which is at pecanestimate.com or pecantreeog.com. You can find us at. And yeah, we're independent, and we're like an independent appraiser of oil and gas. So all things value based we are covering today, and anything Q&A on that. So if you have any question on what oil and gas is, what appraisals cover, what we cover, something you got in the mail, something that you want to cover, we can talk about that today. So sorry, I did not introduce myself. I just kind of like hopped into passion fruit, and here we are. So yeah, back to here. So I just searched for name of county CAD, right? So Upton County CAD. And Upton is a county in Texas, obviously. So first link was the county appraisal here. And if you just search through here, you might not exactly find it right away. But what you're looking for is there's going to be something that says like records, data, reports. And for this particular case, we're looking at this records and data. And a lot of times the counties will list it with something like records or download rolls or something like that. So we'll go to the records, and I'll show you where it is here. So the mineral appraisal stuff is usually way down at the bottom. And so all of this stuff here is usually related to the surface property stuff. So if you're not finding it up here, that's because it's usually just the houses that are up here. All the exemptions and worksheets, and what we want to get to is the certified rolls. And in that certified rolls, there's several different listings. So Upton has actually quite a few years available, so if you need to go back several years, that's an option. Usually there's maybe 2 years max. But what we're looking for is something called a mineral appraisal roll. And if you get someone saying that they look and found you on the mineral rolls, this is what they're talking about. The mineral rolls are the public filing of all the different owners that are paying taxes on different producing properties. And it only really applies to the royalty and revenue interest. You can't tell who the working interest owners necessarily are, although it will usually say what type of interest it is. It's not as clear cut how much they're paying in operating expenses. But if you were to open this up, and do I want to open it up? Yeah, we'll go ahead and do it. it'll download a zip file, and let's see. You can see all my history of stuff I've downloaded. That's fine. We are transparent here. And you get all the listing of, so you'll get all of the, a lot of times they'll include the individual like mailers that are sent out. I've seen counties that had every single person's PDF was listed individually in the zip file. But usually there's a CSV, which is just a comma separated values file that you can open up in Excel or something. And they're really big. Like it's you just gotta give it time on your computer to open. But this will have all the owners listed out, what wells they're in, what decimal interest they're paying, what the county appraised value is. And I won't like dig into any specific owners one in here, but just letting you know, if you are paying taxes on a well in Upton County, your name is in this list. Also, your address is in this list. And the only reason it wouldn't be in this list is if you have it going to a trust, or if you have it going to an agency that is, or a mineral manager, or someone who is managing your minerals or taking those payments, or if they don't have the correct address on file, sometimes it will just say like no address on file. And that's a good way to see if people can find you, right? Because if there's no address on file at the county, that probably means that something got lost along the way. And that's a good place to do some DIY searching for if you inherited from a certain name and you're not sure all of those things made it to your name. You can go on to the county records if there's producing wells and see if anything is still left in that person's name. Because if the county still thinks that that person owns it, then that probably means that the operator hasn't told the county that something changed. And typically the workflow is that the operator starts. Sorry, y'all are making me laugh. Mary says oil, gas, and botanical information. And thank you, Fred, for this information. Passion vines do not always produce fruit, as some varieties are ornamental, and even fruit-bearing types require specific conditions: sun, pollination, and long enough growing season to mature fruit. Well, we definitely have A, B, and C there. So I'm guessing I might just have an ornamental version. It's very pretty. It's beautiful if y'all haven't seen a passion vine. I just really wanted to try the fruit, but anyway. And then, yeah. Y'all are funny. Okay. Sorry. Back on this. Yeah, so typically the workflow goes that the operator who drills the well lets the county know who all the owners are in that well. And that's also a place where I find a lot of wrong information, is if your original division order was sent out and there was an error in it, that you'll probably get that fixed with the operator, but sometimes that information doesn't make it to the county. So the county will still have the old information, so you'll be paying taxes on the wrong number there. So that's something to check whenever you're doing your annual like tax review. Like check your decimal interest, check your well lists, check your just check through that it's matching up with what you're getting paid. So that is my short and sweet on oil and gas county taxes. Let's see. Fred says, we're in Upton County and I found all that information on there along with the other owners. Great information.